Mabuhay! Ako po si Deborah Garcia. Hi, I'm Deborah Garcia, and welcome to another lesson where you will learn practical Filipino language in just few minutes. This is brought to us by NAC TV, the local TV channel here in Nipua, Manitoba. We would love to hear your thoughts about our lessons, so if you have some comments or suggestions, please write them below or you can send them directly to nactv@wcgwave.ca. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please like and share this video. Today, we are going to learn about adjectives and the degree of comparison. I think I gave some example of adjectives before, but then today we are going to focus our lessons on this part of speech. On the board are the list of some adjectives that are commonly used in the Philippines. I categorize them according to their group. So, for the first category, we have the colors. Color is kulay. Colors is mga kulay. I didn't put mga here, but they're all plural. Okay, so we put mga in front of each one. So, to indicate that this is plural. So, mga. The first one is pula. What do you think is this color? Pula. It means red. Pula is red. Dilaw is yellow. Azul is blue. Dalandan is orange. Now, the term pula and dilaw are commonly used in the Philippines. But for blue is more commonly used compared to the word azul. And this one, dalandan, we have this fruit, dalandan, the orange, actually. So for color, we refer it as orange. But for the fruit, we call it dalandan. But for the sake of this lesson, I am going to give you the original Filipino terms for a particular color. So dalandan is orange. Verde is green. This one as well is not commonly used. We use green to mean the color green. So lila, this one as well. Lila is violet. So we say violet, not lila. Puti is commonly used in the Philippines. So puti and white are common terms. So itim as well. Itim is black. So puti, itim are commonly used. Kayumanggi, now this one, the kayumanggi is brown, but then we use brown to mean color. But for the race, like we are in the brown race, so we are kayumanggi. So when we say kayumanggi, we mean the race, the brown race. Okay, but for color, we use brown. Rosas is pink, but we use pink for color. Actually, rosas here would mean the flower rose, because that's how we call rose as well, so rosas. But for colors, we usually use pink instead of rosas. Abo, this is gray, but when we say the color, it's gray, but when we mean the ashes, then we call it abo. But for color, we say gray. Now, let's go to the sizes. Size means sukat. Sizes means mga sukat. So, when we say malaki, it's very common. It's big. Malaki is big. And opposite to that is maliit. If malaki is big, maliit would be small. Okay? Malalim means deep. Mababaw means shallow. Mahaba is long. The opposite is maikli, and that is short. Malawak means wide. Opposite is makitid, means narrow. Makapal means thick. And opposite is manipis, it's thin. Now, matangkad is tall. Opposite is pandak, and that is short. Now, if you notice, almost all of our adjectives have this one, ma. It's actually, we just put ma and then we connect it to the noun. For example, laki. Laki means size. If we say ma laki, it means big. Now, liit as well is also the root word here. Liit means small. Maliit means it becomes an adjective. So, lalim is depth, and then malalim means deep. So babaw is the measurement, actually, but it means shallow too. So almost all of our adjectives have ma before the root word. That's how we form our adjectives. Then we have the tastes. Taste means lasa. Tastes is mga lasa. Okay, mapait. Mapait is bitter. Matamis is sweet. Maalat is salty. Matabang is bland. Maasim is sour. Maanghang is spicy. Masarap is delicious. Mapakla, I don't know if you have an equivalent this one for the English language, but mapakla is when you, for example, the banana. If the banana is not ripe yet and you eat it and it's green and it's not ready to be eaten yet, then that's what you call mapakla. I searched the meaning of this one, the equivalent in English, and it says acrid. But when I check the definition, it's not really how it's supposed to taste when we say mapakla in Filipino. So the best example that I could give you to describe it is, when you eat the unripe banana, that's mapakla. Sariwa means fresh. So we use this to describe vegetables and seafoods, for example, fish. But if the fish is not fresh anymore, not sariwa, we call it bilasa. But if we are referring to vegetables, for example, if they are not fresh, they are rotten. In English, it's rotten, but we say bulok. So we don't really use the word bilasa for fruits and vegetables. We only use this for seafoods, okay? Bulok can be used for anything. Like, for example, aside from fruits and vegetables, what are other things that can be rotten? Corpse can be rotten, so we call it bulok too. Now, here is another group of adjectives. It didn't fit earlier on the board, so I need to separate them. And I provided them their opposites or their antonyms. So let's start with the first one. Oh, by the way, I just remember, earlier I talked about sariwa, bilasa, bulok, right? So sariwa is just for meat or seafoods, for example. So sariwa. Oh no, I'm running out. So when you say bilasa is if the meat is unfresh. But I mentioned also this word. Bulok means rotten. But actually, if the vegetable, for example, or the fruit is not yet rotten, but it's just withered, I just remember we don't say bulok yet. We say lanta. So this word. Lanta. It's just withered. Okay? I just need to add that. Alright, let's go with the first one. Masama. Masama means bad. The opposite is mabuti, good. So when someone asks you, kumusta? And you say, I'm good, then you say mabuti. So masama, mabuti. Bad, good. Next one, malinis. Malinis means clean. Opposite is madumi, dirty. Madumi, right? Madilim means dark. Maliwanag means bright. Or if, for example, someone's explaining something, and if that someone would say, is it clear? Maliwanag ba? He would also use maliwanag as to mean clear. So madilim, dark, maliwanag, bright or clear in terms of explanation. Because when in terms of water, for example, when you mean clear as water or crystal, then you would say malinaw, clear. All right? This one. Mahirap is poor. Mahirap here, there are two mahirap here. So the first mahirap means difficult because the opposite is madali. It means easy. Difficult, easy. Now this second one, mahirap, same word, but this one with the opposite mayaman means poor. And mayaman means rich. Mabilis is fast. Mabagal is slow. Mabigat is heavy. Magaan is light. Malakas, strong. Mahina, weak. Malambot, soft. Matigas is hard. Last one, mabango is fragrant. Mabaho is the opposite. It doesn't smell good. Foul smell, awful smell. Okay? Still here, we have the ma in the beginning, including their opposites have ma with them. Now, I separated these adjectives. These are some of the examples of our adjectives that don't start with a ma. Puno. Puno means full. If there's a container and it's full of water, then that's puno. But when you mean you're full, like your tummy is full, then you don't say puno. I'm puno. No, you say busog. Busog means full too, so I'm gonna put it here. Busog. So that means full. Your tummy is full. The opposite is gutom. It means hungry. So busog, gutom is full, or this one, hungry. Puno means full, and the opposite is walang laman. It means empty. Wala. Wala means nothing. Walang laman. Next one, tuyo is dry. Basa is wet. Bago is new. Luma is old. Tahimik is quiet. Maingay is noisy. Tama is correct. Mali is wrong. Bata is young. Matanda is old. This one has a ma though. Now I have these sentences on the board to show to you how to form our degrees of comparisons. So we are going to use the adjective matangkad. Matangkad means tall, right? The opposite is what? It doesn't start with the ma. It's just pandak. So that's short. I am pandak. So matangkad means tall. Now let's look at the first sentence. Si Ana ay matangkad. This is the base form. So si, I hope you did not forget this one. It's a personal topic maker. It is the word to introduce a person. So when the next word is not a person, then you don't use si. You use the articles. So this one is si Ana ay matangkad. Ana is tall. Alright, let's look at the comparative degree. Si Jenny ay mas matangkad kaysa kay Ana. The next one, si Susan ang pinaka matangkad sa tatlo. Now, let us locate our adjective. In sentence number 2, it's here. Sentence number 3, it's here. Now, what did we put? This is our, what do you call this? The first one. We are not comparing anyone, but this one, we include another name, Jenny. Si Jenny ay mas matangkad. Mas here means more, or when you say, yeah, more, or in English, when you form the comparative degree of the verb tall, of the adjective tall, you would say taller. You put ER. For the superlative degree, you'd say tallest. Then you put EST. In Filipino, we do not conjugate our adjectives. Only verbs are conjugated to form their tenses. But for adjectives, we don't add these, but we add another word. So for comparative degree, if we say Jenny is mas matangkad, means taller than Ana, then we put this word mas. So for our comparative degree, we use mas and then our adjective. Mas and then the adjective matangkad. Kaysa means than. So this is than. Kay is just like a word to introduce a person here. So Ana. So Jenny is taller than Ana. Now for the superlative degree, si Susan, so we have another entry here. It's another person. Susan, ang pinakamatangkad sa tatlo. Pinaka is added to mean this, the EST. Among all three, si Susan ang pinakamatangkad. Tatlo If you can still remember, tatlo means 3, right? So, Susan is the tallest among, this is a preposition, among the 3. So, I mentioned in my previous lesson for prepositions in English, no, in Filipino, we have this one, sa, it's commonly used, and the equivalent of that are different kinds of prepositions in English, like in, on, at, among. So it's next lesson would be about prepositions. So we'll learn some more about them. Alright? So rules. In English, we convert or we conjugate our adjectives. But in Filipino, we just need to add these words. Mas for comparative, pinaka for superlative. And then we use, for comparative degree, we use this word than, which is kaysa in Filipino. And here, we don't use anything but just this one, the indicator of the superlative degree of the adjective. That's pinaka. I'm going to give some more examples, but let's just convert these sentences into a passive voice, because this one is an active voice. So the focus of these sentences are the subject. Now let us go ahead and focus our attention to the adjectives of these sentences so that we can form our passive voice. So number 1, si Ana ay matangkad. We will shift it to the word matangkad. So our focus will be on the word matangkad. So when we say it, so this is how we write it. So when we say it, we don't say si Ana ay matangkad, but we say matangkad si Ana. So this is how we form it. The adjective will come first. Matangkad si Ana. Conversational Filipino. This is the written or formal Filipino. So how about number 2? Si Jenny ay mas matangkad kaysa kay Ana. Will the format change? Yes. So, but we don't start with matangkad. We will start with mas because this is the comparative degree. So we say mas matangkad. Mas matangkad. Who is taller? Jenny, right? So mas matangkad si Jenny. And then you copy this. Kaysa kay Ana. Kaysa kay Ana. There. So instead of saying si Jenny ay mas matangkad kaysa kay Ana, in conversational Filipino, you say mas matangkad si Jenny kaysa kay Ana. I don't know why did I capitalize matangkad. It should be small. There. Mas matangkad si Jenny kaysa kay Ana. How about the superlative degree? So we'll start with pinaka. Okay? Pinakamatangkad. Who is pinakamatangkad? Who is the tallest? So, pinakamatangkad si Susan sa tatlo. Okay? So, you just copy that. This is how we say it in Filipino. This is how we write it in Filipino. Okay, now I just wrote one sentence on the board. This is the base form. And we will use maasim. It means sour. So, maasim is sour. Mangoes, mangga is mango. So, ang mangga ay maasim. The mango is sour. So, we did not use si because mango is not a person. We use an article, ang. So, the mango is sour. How do we form the comparative degree if we are compare the mangoes to, let's say, tamarind, sampalok. Tamarind is sampalok. Can you try? So, what do we do for comparative degree? We add mas, M-A-S, right? Before the adjective maasim. So, mas maasim. The sampalok. So, how do we say the sampalok? We say ang again, ang, and then sampalok. So, the tamarind. Ang sampalok ay what? Mas maasim. Mas maasim. And then what is than? Kaysa, right? Kaysa. But we don't use kay. Kaysa kay is not used because kay is just used to introduce a person. So we say, we will use the preposition sa. instead of kay, so we won't use this, we'll use sa. So, ang sampalok ay mas maasim kaysa sa mangga. See? The tamarind is more sour than mango. Alright, now let's form the superlative degree. So how do we form our superlative degree? We say pinaka, right? Now, maybe we can use calamansi as the most sour. Oh, calamansi. Have you seen a calamansi? Calamansi is the Philippine lemon, so the small green ones. Calamansi. So we say calamansi, pinaka maasim. How do we form our sentence then? So we'll say ang calamansi ang pinaka maasim. You can say sa tatlo, among the three, or you can say in all. So you say ang calamansi ang pinaka maasim sa lahat. Lahat means all. Tatlo means three. So we used tatlo earlier, so we won't use tatlo here. We will use sa lahat. It means in all. So the calamansi is the most sour among all others, or among all other fruits, or whatever. Okay? Now let us convert these sentences into passive voice. So how do we do that? Number one, ang mangga ay maasim. So we start with maasim. Maasim ang mangga, right? Maasim ang mangga. If you notice, when we convert it to passive voice, we remove this one, the auxiliary verbs. So no more is, no more are. So it's just like that. Then the second one, ang sampalok ay mas maasim kaysa sa mangga. So we say mas maasim. We start with this. Mas maasim. Mas maasim ang sampalok kaysa sa mangga. There. Last one. The superlative degree. What is the most sour of all? It's the calamansi, right? So we say pinaka maasim ang calamansi sa lahat. There, it's very easy. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you learned something. If you have some comments or suggestions regarding our lesson, please write them below, or you can send them directly to nactv@wcgwave.ca. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please like and share this video. See you again next week. Bye!